In 2016, in a small city in Punjab, three brothers get together to hang out and chill for the evening. But one of them is a chef who experiments by mixing some Desi spices in his kitchen to prepare a Jeera flavored drink. The three of them are so blown away by its taste that they decide to launch it in bottles and take it to every single Indian. Completely unaware that they were about to pick up a fight with the world's biggest and most ruthless beverage giant. This is the story of the 10 rupee drink that has become Coke's biggest nightmare in India. Saurabh and Sunny were hanging out at their chef cousin Nikhil's home when he made them an amazing Jeera drink. Both of them took a sip and couldn't believe what they were drinking. This Desi homemade experiment felt more refreshing and healthier than anything they had ever tasted before. That's when they had a crazy realization. Ever since childhood, they had seen MNC giants like Coke and Pepsi rule India. They controlled almost 100% of the cola market and nearly 45% of the overall drinks market. But there was a problem. These drinks were not Indian. India has had its own flavors for centuries. Ambani, Jeera, Shikanji and other countless regional favorites. Yet somewhere along the way, these flavors had quietly taken a backseat. You could find thousands of roadside sellers or local brands selling traditional Indian drinks. But these were often sold without hygiene, consistency or any real brand identity. The market existed, but no one had managed to organize it. That's when Saurabh had a light bulb moment. If big MNCs can convince Indians to buy foreign sugary carbonated drinks, why can't someone sell what had already been asked for centuries? So together with his brothers, he decided to take the task upon himself, determined to take Nikhil's tasty kitchen recipe to every corner of the country. But he knew he had to take baby steps first. The typical retail supply chain in India is such that the product goes from the manufacturer to the distributors, who further supply it to retail stores. So along with his brothers, he created small samples and took them to distributors for trials. And the response was amazing. Everyone loved the taste and told them the product would definitely sell. Now they had proof that they had a solid product at hand. The next step was to go into full-fledged production. However, none of the three brothers had any idea how to make beverages at scale. So they visited tens of factories and learned everything from scratch. In the process, they also decided to add soda to their recipe, making it even more hard-hitting. And after months of sweaty visits and trials, they finally figured out how to manufacture their drink on a large scale. But their battle was far from over. Building a plant would need crores in investment, and they had no investors or loan to back their dream. So with a heavy heart, Saurabh borrowed money from his own family, carrying the weight of expectations on his shoulders. And with that risk, they finally built a fully automated beverage factory in Punjab. It could produce a staggering 96,000 bottles every single day. And in May 2017, they finally launched Lahori Zeera, the perfect blend of cumin, lemon and Desi spices. The name came from the key ingredients of their drink: rock salt, also known as Lahori Namak, and cumin, also known as Jeera. But the real game changer was not its taste, it was their price. Saurabh understood very well that India is a price-sensitive market. So while Coke and Pepsi sold their smallest bottles at 20 rupees, they launched Lahori Zeera at the magical price of just 10 rupees a bottle. And with the right product at the right price, the brothers thought they would now be unstoppable. However, they were about to get a shocking surprise. The first commercial batch was produced, and Saurabh approached the same distributors who had previously encouraged them. He thought he would deliver the batch to them, collect payment and start making the next batch. But to his surprise, they refused to make an advance payment. Instead, the brothers were told to follow the traditional model, where manufacturers supply the stock on credit in advance and collect money after the sales were done. They had no idea this was how leading beverage distributors in India worked, and they were shattered. Not only were they principally against this idea, but they also did not have the money to create the next batch. They had invested every rupee they had, and getting more loans was not even an option. Saurabh felt their dream was about to die before it even bloomed. But instead of giving up, they took a genius alternate approach that would stun his distributors. They had complete faith in the taste of their product. So skipping the distributors, they started going store to store and offering retailers a chance to taste Lahori Zeera. If they liked it, they could immediately pay and place an order for a crate. The shopkeepers tasted it and they loved it. In no time, the brothers had booked advance payment orders from several shops. And once they had proof of demand, they again went back to the distributors, who saw the demand and finally agreed to come on board with their 100% advance payment terms. Three guys from Punjab had managed to break the traditional model and bend the rules of the game to their will. And the game was on. However, instead of going all guns blazing after that, Saurabh and his brothers acted like a sniper. Rather than spreading themselves thin across multiple states too early, they built depth in select regions. starting with Chandigarh, Punjab, Himachal and Haryana before expanding further. Every distributor was handpicked by them, and only those were selected who had experience and strong relationships with retailers in their area. This gave Lahori consistency that many other local brands lacked. But even smarter than this was where they decided to place Lahori Zeera. Instead of targeting big departmental stores and retail shops, Saurabh went straight to the heart of India. Railway stations, bus stands, pawn shops and small market counters. These were the places where people fight the heat and make quick impulse purchases. And no one thinks twice before buying a 10 rupee drink, especially in India's hot climate. So with their rock solid distribution strategy, Lahori Zeera was soon doing crores in sales. Slowly, they started scaling to other states as well. It was on its way to become a national brand, and Saurabh could see his dream taking shape. However, all of this was possible only because they were managing their inventory efficiently. Just like Lahori Zeera, all businesses need to manage their inventory and supply chain extremely efficiently at all stages of growth. That's the key to running a profitable business. And Odoo Inventory can help you turn it into a seamless experience. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that covers all your business needs, thanks to their suite of 45 plus applications. Odoo's inventory app lets you manage your inventory, supply chain and quality checks in an end-to-end manner, helping you take care of it from manufacturing to delivery. Right at the start, you see dashboards that have a simple UI but are loaded with features, letting you take care of receiving, sorting and transferring inventory on a single screen. But it is not just limited to tracking. For each raw material, you have estimated forecasting, and you can set up minimum threshold and automatic replenishment through selected vendors, so you always order raw materials on time. If you store your inventory across multiple locations, you can use its real-time tracking features and always stay on top. And here's the best part. Odoo gives you access to advanced picking and packaging, even giving you options to optimize processes with multiple smart strategies. It also has smart put-away rules that help you store items where they are easily accessible, along with barcode scanning to make quality checks faster. Odoo also helps you bring in transparency to your inventory processing, helping you trace the products throughout the chain, from purchase to sale. Finally, reporting helps identify pain points such as raw material wastage and inefficiencies. That's how Odoo Inventory will save your time and make your business more efficient, so you quickly grow from strength to strength, just like Lahori Zeera. Get your Odoo Inventory app for free using the link in the description. Now, while Saurabh and his brothers thought they had cracked the perfect strategy, a storm was incoming that would shake the entire industry to its core. In 2021, the GST Council made a huge announcement. While carbonated fruit beverages like Lahori Zeera earlier had to pay just 12% GST, they were now being moved to 40% total tax slab. And this was extremely bad news. The beverage industry, including Lahori Zeera, works on razor-thin profit margins. The profit on each bottle was barely a few rupees, and losing 28% extra as tax per bottle could turn their entire operation unprofitable overnight. After scaling the business profitably for about 4 years, Saurabh did not want to now burn money. He was always clear that he would run it like a profitable Desi dhanda. So the only logical option was to increase the price to set off the increase in taxes. But that did not sit right with Saurabh either. In his heart, he knew that their price point was one of the biggest reasons for their success. For him, 10 rupees was non-negotiable. That's when he and his brothers came up with an insanely clever jugaad. Instead of passing the burden on to consumers by increasing the price, they reduced the bottle size from 200 ml to 160 ml. But even that wasn't enough. So he made some tweaks with the formulation, did serious cost cutting in operations, and brought his overall cost down even further. And finally, pulling off what Saurabh himself thought was impossible, they were able to protect the 10 rupee price point. Lahori Zeera had survived the death blow, and it continued its march, stronger than ever. It had pushed them to rethink everything, rebuild from the inside, and fight harder than ever before. And the brothers never looked back after that. After profitably scaling it until 2021 just by reinvesting its own profits, they finally thought they were ready for the next level. By that point, he was unable to grow because of limited production capacity, even though there was huge demand. So in 2022, they raised funding of about 110 crores, after which they built another factory in Gujarat, post which their revenue shot up from 11 crores to 314 crores, with a staggering 22 crores in profits. And Lahori Zeera is on track to soon turn into a 1,000 crore Desi beverage brand. All because three brothers realized that the opportunity was not in inventing something new. It was in organizing a cultural habit that already existed, transforming a roadside product into a scalable brand. Market challenges, tax shocks, or money shortage, discipline and adaptability can turn any obstacle into an advantage. Please hit the subscribe button if you made it this far so you keep getting new videos. If you like this video, I recommend watching this one next. Until I see you in the next video, goodbye.